Are adaptogens nature's real anti-aging herbs, or just expensive stress tea? Today we cut through the noise on the big three: Ashwagandha, Rhodiola, and Ginseng. What they actually do, how to use them, and who should avoid them. Spoiler: some benefits are real. Some are oversold, and safety details matter more than most people realize. If you are new here, welcome to Longevity Compass. We turn good science into habits that help you live longer and stronger. Please tap like and subscribe if you find this information helpful. This signals YouTube to push this to people who need it. Also, check the description for trusted tools, research-backed essentials, and our book, Longevity Compass. As per usual, you never have to buy anything. But if you are ready to level up your routine, we have curated high-quality options to save you time. Let's start with what the word adaptogen actually means. The term comes from mid-20th century Soviet research. An adaptogen should meet three criteria. Firstly, it's non-toxic at normal doses. Second, it increases non-specific resistance to stress. Third, it helps normalize physiology. In other words, it nudges you back toward balance. Mechanistically, the best studied adaptogens appear to modulate your stress axis. They influence cortisol rhythms, and they with heat shock proteins and inflammatory signaling. All very plausible ways to reduce the daily wear and tear of stress. But regulators and pharmacologists also note that adaptogen is a fuzzy label. So we do not judge the category. We judge the individual herb on actual human data. Let's start with ashwagandha. This is the crowd favorite for stress and sleep, and sometimes for exercise and sexual health. What does the evidence actually say? Well, on stress and anxiety, the data are the strongest. Multiple randomized trials show improved stress and anxiety scores and modest cortisol reductions after 6 to 12 weeks using standardized root extracts at 300 to 600 milligrams per day. This is the lane where ashwagandha consistently works for many people. On sleep, the picture is promising but still mixed. Meta-analyses suggest small improvements in overall sleep quality, sleep onset latency, and sleep efficiency in adults with poor sleep. Think gentle improvements over weeks, not a knockout pill. On exercise and recovery, trials in active people report small to moderate gains in strength, VO2 max, and recovery markers at doses around 300 to 600 milligrams per day. Not a steroid. Think nudge plus consistent training. On sexual function and testosterone, context matters. In men with low desire or high stress, some trials report improved sexual function scores and small testosterone bumps after 8 weeks. But effects are not universal. Do not expect a universal testosterone booster. Safety matters here, and you should hear this clearly. There are rare but real case reports of thyroid issues after ashwagandha use. If you develop palpitations, heat intolerance, or unexplained weight loss, stop and talk to your clinician. There are also case reports of liver injury. It is uncommon, but it happens. If you see dark urine, yellowing eyes or skin, or right upper abdominal pain, stop and seek care. Avoid ashwagandha in pregnancy, and you want to use caution if you have hormone-sensitive prostate cancer. And do not mix it casually with sedatives, thyroid meds, SSRIs, or immunosuppressants without medical guidance. One more crucial detail: use root-only products. Traditional use and pharmacopoeia monographs specify root as the medicinal part. India's Ministry of Ayush has advised against internal leaf use due to lack of safety and efficacy data. If your product does not say root only and does not list withanolide standardization, pick another brand. Here's how to use ashwagandha properly. Typical dosing is 300 to 600 milligrams per day of standardized root extract, often 2.5 to 10% withanolides, for 8 to 12 weeks before judging. If it makes you too relaxed during the day, take it in the evening. If you find it sedating before a workout, move it away from training. Track your sleep and stress scores weekly and reassess at 2 months. Now let's talk Rhodiola. Rhodiola rosea is the fatigue and focus adaptogen with some of the fastest reported effects. In stressed populations, standardized extracts like SHR5 improved mental performance, reduced fatigue, and supported resilience in multiple randomized trials. Some benefits appear within days. On mood, a small trial compared Rhodiola to sertraline in mild to moderate depression. Rhodiola had fewer adverse effects but was less potent than the SSRI. That suggests it is an option if you cannot tolerate standard meds, but not a replacement. On exercise performance, results are mixed. Some studies show small endurance benefits, others do not, so make sure you set expectations accordingly. Quality and standardization matter with Rhodiola as well. Most clinical work used extracts standardized to about 3% Rosavans and 1% Salidroside. Check the label for this ratio. Be aware that adulteration and substitution exist with commercial Rhodiola, including use of other species. As for safety, Rhodiola is generally well tolerated short-term. Occasional headache, GI upset, or dizziness can occur. It can be activating, so take it early in the day. If you have bipolar disorder or a history of mania, be cautious and coordinate with your clinician. If you are on antidepressants, discuss interactions with your prescriber. Here's how to use Rhodiola correctly. 200 to 400 mg per day of standardized extract at the 3% and 1% ratio is typical. Take it in the morning or before a demanding work period. If you feel overstimulated, consider cycling, like 5 days on and 2 days off. Okay, now ginseng. Panax ginseng, also called Asian or Korean ginseng, shows up in multiple roles. The most consistent human effects are small, acute boosts in cognition and modest improvements in erectile function. On cognition, meta-analyses and controlled trials show small improvements in memory or attention, sometimes after a single dose of standardized extract. Think coffee adjacent. On erectile function, systematic reviews including Cochrane work suggest red ginseng can modestly improve function versus placebo. It is not a replacement for prescription medications like PDE5 inhibitors, but the evidence here is stronger than for many male performance supplements. On glycemic control, ginseng may lower blood sugar modestly. If you have diabetes or you take glucose-lowering meds, monitor and coordinate with your clinician. Some safety notes for ginseng. Short-term use is generally safe, but insomnia is common at higher doses. There are reports of interactions with warfarin. Because of that, avoid ginseng if you are on warfarin unless your clinician is monitoring your INR carefully. Standardized extracts often declare 4 to 7% ginsenosides. A typical dose is 200 to 400 mg per day of standardized extract, or 1 to 2 grams per day of whole root equivalent, usually in the morning to avoid sleep disruption. Now let's deal with the big claim. Do adaptogens extend lifespan? In humans, no adaptogen has proven to increase lifespan yet. The realistic longevity angle is indirect. Better stress regulation, smoother sleep, better metabolic control, more consistent activity. These are all supportive of healthspan and resilience over time. Animal or insect studies may show lifespan effects in specific models, but that has not translated into human lifespan data. So frame adaptogens as healthspan helpers, not lifespan pills. How do you choose a quality product? Look for standardization on the label. Ashwagandha should be root only with declared withanolides. Rhodiola should declare 3% Rosavans and 1% Salidroside. Ginseng should declare ginsenosides, and ideally reference a named extract with published data. Favor third-party testing seals like USP verified, NSF, or informed choice where possible. Remember, in the United States, supplements are not pre-approved for safety and efficacy. quality varies widely. So, who should avoid these, or at least get medical clearance first? For ashwagandha, avoid in pregnancy, and use caution with active liver disease or uncontrolled thyroid disease. Men with hormone-sensitive prostate cancer should consult their clinician. If you are on sedatives, immunosuppressants, thyroid meds, or SSRIs, coordinate with your prescriber. For rhodiola, be cautious if you have a history of mania or bipolar disorder, and if you take antidepressants, discuss it first. For ginseng, if you are on warfarin, avoid unless your clinician is closely monitoring your INR. If you have insomnia or hypertension, take care with dosing and timing, and talk with your clinician if you are unsure. Here are practical stacks you can use without turning your supplement shelf into a pharmacy. For stress and sleep, try ashwagandha at 300 to 600 mg of standardized root extract in the evening for 8 to 12 weeks. Pair it with actual sleep hygiene. Dim your lights, cool your bedroom, use a wind-down ritual, and don't expect night one sedation. For workday fatigue and mental performance, try rhodiola at 200 to 400 mg standardized, early in the day. Use it before demanding cognitive blocks or stressful days. If you feel overstimulated, reduce the dose or cycle it 5 on and 2 off. For energy and cognition on specific days, consider Panax ginseng at 200 to 400 mg standardized in the morning. Avoid taking it late in the day. For male sexual health, if prescription options are not appropriate, talk with your clinician about red ginseng as an adjunct. Expect modest effects, not miracles, and yes, ashwagandha may help stress-related low desire, but it is not a universal testosterone booster. Let's do some myth-busting rapid fire. First, adaptogens are not side effect free. Ashwagandha has rare liver and thyroid adverse events. Rhodiola can be activating. Ginseng can disrupt sleep and interact with warfarin. Not all ashwagandha is the same. Root only is the standard. Leaf-based internal products are discouraged by Indian regulators, and no, we do not have human lifespan data for adaptogens. Their strengths are in stress, sleep, mood, energy, and performance under pressure. Before we close, a quick reminder. Please hit like and subscribe if this gave you clarity. It helps this channel reach more people who would otherwise waste money on the wrong products. And check the description for a short list of trusted essentials, plus our book, Longevity Compass. Here is your 2-week experiment. If stress and sleep are your biggest issues, try ashwagandha root extract at 300 mg twice daily or 300 to 600 mg once in the evening. Track your sleep quality and perceived stress daily. If workday fatigue is your problem, try rhodiola at 200 to 400 mg in the morning, standardized to 3% and 1%. Track your energy, focus blocks, and end-of-day mood. If you want a cognitive bump on specific days, keep Panax ginseng at 200 mg standardized as your meeting day tool. Avoid it close to bedtime. At the end of 2 weeks, keep what helped, adjust doses, and always gut check with your clinician if you are on medications or have thyroid, liver, or cardiovascular conditions. Adaptogens are not magic, they are tools. Use the right tool for the right job. Pair them with the fundamentals. Good food, good sleep, daily movement, and real relationships. That is how you build Healthspan. This is Longevity Compass. We will see you in the next one.